Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. I've got a pretty cool new product to show you guys today. This is a gun rack from OneTigris. I'm going to move the camera in just a second so you can get a better view of it, because trying to make the whole thing work in the studio is a little bit tough. But this thing only costs 50 bucks and it's pretty decent. So check it out. Let's move this over here, lower it a little bit. And you can kind of see it. I'm going to get you a better view in just a minute, but make sure you're subscribed and I'll show you all about it. So as you can see here, I mounted this on a piece of plywood that I painted black. Now it is made to mount on your wall, and in fact comes with all of the necessary hardware to mount it, in drywall or in studs, whatever works. But honestly, you don't need studs because it does have all the drywall anchors, all the screws, everything you need. We will talk about those screws in just a minute. But I had to mount it on this just so that I could bring it into the studio here, show you guys what's going on with it, and be able to just kind of have it mobile. That's why it's tilted back. I just didn't want it to fall on me with all the guns, so just to get all of that out of the way. But you can see, so it's black and it has all these different hooks. It's totally modular. You can move them all around. And as we come down here, it's got places to hold pistols, to hold other gear. You can move that part in the middle there, up, down, wherever you want it. The entire thing is super modular, which is really cool. And it actually looks really good as well. They make a few different models, I've noticed, and you can find them on Amazon. I will put a link down below in the description. But this one, like I said, it's not even 50 bucks. It'll hold a couple rifles, up to 3, depending on the rifles. I put some Ear Pro on here just to kind of show other things that you could do with it. But you could put 3 rifles, a few pistols if you want, whatever you feel like you need, which is pretty cool to me. I spent considerable time and thought trying to figure out what I was going to do for the gun wall for my studio when I started the YouTube channel here. And it has worked well for the studio, but it's not ideal and it's not something that I would use every day. These guns come out and go up on that wall when it's time to start filming. This is something that if you had a gun room in your house, or maybe set this up in your closet, you can hang a couple rifles, a couple pistols, have them ready to go. And because it's modular, and because they make longer ones that have longer, side panels, so you can put more rifles, more pistols, whatever you want on them, you could really set up a pretty sweet gun room for not a whole lot of money. Quick word from this video's sponsor. I've been using Aura now for a couple of months. I know you guys have seen it in my videos if you've been watching, and it's a product and a service that I really actually believe in at this point. It has totally stopped me from getting spam calls. Now, data brokers are a real thing these days. Scammers, spammers, all this stuff. I've been trying to sell a pickup truck lately, and at first all I was getting was scammers. Well, Aura took care of that, and I'm not hearing from the scammers anymore. Unfortunately, I still haven't sold the truck, but I've got a lot of examples like that. In fact, the place where I work just recently got scammed and we lost out on a whole day's worth of revenue. Well, Aura can stop things like that from happening. They search the entire internet for anywhere where your information is being sold to people, and they submit opt-out requests on your behalf, which takes care of your information being out there. It clears you up so that you stop getting spam calls, you stop getting scammers. There are people out there these days whose whole career is just scamming people out of their money by finding their information on the internet. And as sickening and as sad as that is, it's a reality. And for only $12 a month, you can stop them from being able to take advantage of you. If you use my link, which is the first link in the description, aura.com/sawtooth-tactical, you get to try it out free for 2 weeks. And then you can decide if it's something that you still want to stick with. But Aura is pretty confident that you'll stick with it, and that's why they give you that 2-week free trial. $12 a month after that is a really good deal for all of the different things that you get with Aura. I've been sticking with it for a few months. I'm really happy with it. I respect my privacy and I respect yours. So the reason that I put the guns that I've painted on here for this video is just to make a quick point. Guns, while they are mainly all about function and they have their very real world uses, they also look cool. And a lot of people want to display them. And also, you kind of want to have them at the ready in case you ever need them. Now, obviously, if you do have kids or something, make sure they're locked up and safe, especially when you're not in control of them. But a lot of people live in homes without kids. And in that case, I don't really see anything wrong with having your guns at the ready. If someone breaks into your home in the middle of the night, you don't want to try to have to unlock a safe to get to your weapon. Well, with this, I think it would work really great in like a closet. Walk-in closet, have a couple of these on each wall. You could literally have all your guns set up in there, and that would be pretty sweet. You have handguns ready, rifles ready, whatever you need. Whereas something like this that I've been using for years really is mostly just for looks for filming YouTube videos. This is much more strong, much more solid. It's made out of steel. All of these hooks can move around wherever you want them. You see all the different notches. You can move them up, down. There's 2 different kinds of hooks. These ones, those knobs, you turn them and they loosen and you can move them around, tighten them back up. And as you can see, it mounted up really easily to this board that I built. It's basically a 1/2-inch plywood with some 2x4 on the back just to make this video so that I was able to get it moved around easily. But it mounts in drywall really well too. I'm going to show you that right now. This display rack, whatever you want to call it, is made to mount into drywall, which is nice because depending where the screw holes are, you might not line up perfectly with your studs. Well, they have nice big drywall anchors to be able to put it into the drywall. I do have to say though, and maybe this is my fault because I was trying to screw it into plywood, but I did try to use the included screws, and the screws are not very high quality. I was just using a regular drill. I have a handyman business on the side. I promise you I know how to use power tools. And it stripped this screw out practically round very quickly. In fact, to get it out, I had to use channel locks on it to pull it out because no Phillips bit would work in this screw again. And that happened like that. So, like I said, it might be my fault because these screws obviously are meant to go into drywall anchors and not plywood. And they do go into the anchors very easily. So maybe a problem that you won't run into, but I do feel like I had to at least mention that. You might have to get new screws for it once you get it. I work at a place, and so I brought home a bunch of screws that worked just fine in the plywood, if that is how you mount it. But just understand it is meant to go into drywall and does have all the stuff to be able to do that. I've got a 3rd bedroom in my house that currently is a guest bedroom. It's just me and my daughter that live here. We have more rooms than we really need. And that used to be the YouTube studio. Now I do it downstairs. But I'm thinking eventually might turn that into a gun room. Right now it's a guest room. My parents come to stay, whatever. But if I do, then this will mount on the wall up there. The other place I've been thinking about using it is possibly in my walk-in closet. Although that wasn't going to work very well for filming a YouTube video. And so that's why we did it this way. I know I explained kind of at the beginning of the video why it's just on this funny piece of plywood. But I had to do something to be able to film in my studio and show you guys this thing. I do think that it's pretty high quality for the price. A lot of these companies that do like gun walls and stuff, they're very expensive, the modular gun walls. Well, this is just one section of this, basically. You could get a bunch of them, and they make like taller ones. I was looking on Amazon because they sell them there, and they make them really tall, and so you could really set a few of them up and like make a whole room that would look really cool if you've got a big gun collection. And if you only have a few guns, maybe something like this is perfect. I mean, I've got 2 rifles, 2 pistols on it, and a couple sets of ear pro. And it fit all that just fine. So, in fact, it's kind of cool that I could have all these guns and all these guns in the same video. OneTigris did send me this out to review and make a video about. Just, you know, to keep things honest so you guys know. But that doesn't change my opinion of it by any means. I mean, obviously, I showed you that the mounting hardware is kind of soft. But the product itself seems really good. All of the hooks are coated in rubber, or they've got like a rubber coating on them. So they're not going to damage or scratch your firearms or anything. Which, I mean, honestly, dude, even my nicest gun has a big old scratch on the rail there. Same with the EOTech. It fell over. That happens if you use your guns, but I know that people want to keep them nice, and it is nice to have them protected on something like this so that the only scratches that you put on them are going to be out there at the range actually using them, hopefully, right? Let me know in the comments what you guys use to display your guns, to keep them. You know, do they sit in a safe? Do you like to keep them out so that people can see them? Do you like to keep them out just so that you can see them? Because, I mean, there is a certain level of a pride of ownership with firearms. And when you just have them locked away all the time, that kind of sucks. One of the fun things about doing this channel is that I get to pull mine out all the time and, you know, just handle them. And I mean, I go out shooting every weekend. You guys see that on the channel. But I do think something like this is pretty cool. If I had known about this before I built this whole thing behind me, maybe that's what the studio would have looked like, you know? It sure does make it easy. Couple screws, set it up however you want. It's kind of sweet. So I'm going to put a link to it down in the description. You can get it on Amazon. It is an affiliate link, so that helps the channel a little bit if you're into that. If you do want to help the channel, the best way is to join Aura. I've been putting an ad for Aura in like every video lately, and it's because I actually do believe in their service. It's helped me out a lot. I know I've mentioned it a lot, but it's pretty sweet. It's very affordable. 2 weeks free with my link. First link in the description. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed. I love you guys. Comment, like, all that stuff that YouTube likes. Helps the algorithm. Helps me to bring you guys more content. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.